Hello, folks. Welcome back. It's Lucid, and get another turn here with Ctis. We have finished Enchantment 6. This gives us Rigor Mortis. We're starting up Evocation to go ahead and get Banefire. Banefire is just really good. But we wanted to use our mages to research, not to, fight. And to do Banefire, you basically need to, carpet bomb an area with mages. So, anyway, we're getting it kind of late. Well, very late. What turn is it? It's turn 43. Still don't have Banefire yet. But we've had other things. I think our build's solid. Maybe not optimal. Depends what you're optimizing for. We're optimizing for not falling too far behind in size, getting research done, and then doing a bunch of stuff with our sacreds. So we found a magic site, fortunately. We got a wolf oak here, which is a nature 1 site. And we had an assassination attempt. This was something I was preparing for. I put bodyguards on this person. I made gear so that I could kit this person up to survive the assassin. Put fire gems so that it could do a big fire elemental. Fortunately, it just landed and attacked one of the sacred serpents. So that was very nice. If it hit our own guy, even if we lived, it would have diseased us. So we got pretty lucky there. Some events, we got some gems, very nice, 8 gems in total, and then some unrest, a little bit of a zinger. Where is that? Here. Okay. The unrest is kind of ruining the income in that province, but we'll survive it. Our sage died of a disease, and that's we lost these guys, and I think they just disappeared. There's enough of the company dead. I think there's something in the code for that if a mercenary band loses most of their stuff, they don't stick around and wait to get rehired. Interestingly, we got the what are they called? The Deep Reavers? Reavers of the Deep. And so these guys are going to add a bunch of siege strength. And in addition, we have cast Arouse Hunger. I've put the dudes we got on this guy, and we're having this guy come over here. I want to go ahead. I've started making a lore master. I want to go ahead and start building a fort here. Basically, just the idea is I want to start getting some lore masters out, and we'll probably be turning them into soulless, unless we get a really good one. But yeah, the good news is our siege strength is up at 250. We're casting another Arouse Hunger. I think we are. Yeah, we're casting an Arouse Hunger this turn. So that's going to bring the siege strength right up to about 300. And last turn, we probably didn't do hardly anything. Maybe 50 damage. This turn, we probably do 200 damage. And so that's going to leave about 500 damage left. And so this final casting of Arouse Hunger will not pop the fort next turn, but it should mean turn after we break it. And then we get the Storm, and that's good. We also got a Temple here, so we're starting some Sauromancers. And I put Sauromancers back on production over here as we're going to kill Phlegra. I had only ended my nap with Phlegra, I think, a turn ago. But I asked him nicely. I was like, hey, I think you're kind of done with Erythia. Do you mind if I end my nap with you? If you think you're going to turn it around, I won't mess with you. And he's like, yeah, okay, I understand. I won't hold it against you. And then this turn, so that was last turn, and then this turn I was like, he was like, yeah, I think I'm toast. Why don't you go ahead and attack me? And I was like, all right. So we're going in. We've got a bunch of little raids. So I guess we'll go through them all. This is simple. These guys are pretty straightforward little dudes. We've got them at the front holding attack. We got these guys on holding attack behind them. They're going to get blessed up by this guy. And then, ideally this guy would have been heading south to our little life after death conversion center, but his talents are needed, so we're going to put him to use. Doing Horde of Skeleton spam from this guy, and then this guy doing Horde of Skeleton spam as well. So this will probably kill most reasonable things. I don't think he's going to use his Mage Core. I did send him a cheeky message like, hey, will you save some tyrants from me? Because I really did want to steal some. And we're pretty well set up to do it. Yeah. Just have to make the friendship hat. We're making this turn, by the way, the Sword of Many Colors. And to make it, we needed this, the Tomb of Gaia. Because we're now Earth 4 with these 2 items equipped. And that's going to let us forge this thing. So that's good. After this, we get our choice of things. We can make, potentially, it'll be a little dicey. We can make this thing. Oh, I didn't mention this in my last episode, but somebody else is making construction 4 items. Where is it? Atlas of Creation. This thing. So we might have to... I wonder if I'm doing anything with the... Is there anything with earth gems that I can, like, salvage? I don't think so. Because we're going to be at 37. We're going to be 3 short. Maybe I should see if Arithia can trade me 3 earth gems. Because we're pretty tight. I'm going to pause and actually send them a note. Okay, so I sent them a note. We'll see if they reply. But, yeah, I really need some earth gems. I know Arithia needs earth gems as well. But... they can probably loan me 3 for a turn. Anyhow, let's see what else. So yeah. Oh yeah. So options are: we'll make the Tomb of the Atlas of Creation most likely. But the other options, we have the things now, all the prerequisites to do the fire hat or the friendship hat. And we can also we have all the things now to do the Soulstone of Wolves, which requires Nature 6, which we have with the booster. So, the Thistle Mace. So, we're set up to make all the things we want to. We had to make some path boosters to get there. But we've got a few really high value things. Earth Gems are going to be the thing limiting us for most of these. So, anyway. But yeah, we're looking pretty darn good over here. So this is like a pretty weird, but should be fine raiding squad. This is going to be 2 of these guys doing invulnerability so that we don't lose them to arrows. And then these guys doing hold and attack with just horde of skeletons behind them. And then these guys, we've got just a pile of crossbows, which honestly, I won't be upset to get these off the payroll. So if we lose all of them, I'm not going to be terribly upset. But we've got crossbows up in the front that will just plink at whatever's coming, and then these guys are on hold and attack closest, getting blessed by this dude. We probably should actually put him back here. And so they're taking this province. And then this province, we're having like a really budget guy come in. Invulnerability, horde of skeletons with a bodyguard. This is honestly a little weak, but I don't really have a ton more I could bring. No, we do. I can just give up on... Let me give up on some of this patrol chaff. I'm just being a little too cheap here. Problem is you're too cheap, and then it's like, okay. You know, you waste your initial investment. And then we're sending this whole squad up this way. So the deal is I'm going to get... Arithia and I discuss spoils. I asked them if they wanted the cap. They said, I'd rather just get out of the war quickly and then get my mages back home researching, because they're going to have to sit on this fort for forever. They don't have a huge army. So I think they're okay. You know, these forts are easy for them to take. You know, this is like 250. This is a long time for his mages to sit on top of a fort. So I think he's okay not really taking Phlegra's cap. I think he's looking at maybe sniping this throne off of Pangea, who has it right now. And Pangea is probably about to die to the monkeys. And then probably he's going to fight Raga. I think that's his next step. I'm not really in a position to help with Raga. I was like, you know, maybe I could gateway an army over here. It would be really awkward. I'm about as weirdly spread out as I've ever been in a game before. I really don't like it, but I just feel I have good relationships with neighbors and stuff like that. So I'm not that worried about it. Okay, so plans. We're moving. Okay, so this is actually the real news of the turn, guys. The real news of the turn is we had our first turn of actual reanimation. And our army graph went like this. Whoop! All right, look at the only time they went up before that much is this was like a massive merc hiring plus a bunch of arouse hunger plus other stuff. So the only time it ever jumps sort of like that is when we're doing like a weird thing with mercs. This is going to be every turn. Like just look at, and this it's going to get steeper, right? Because we're gonna actually increase the slope probably even higher after this turn. So it's going to be crazy high how fast this... Like, we were about to shoot off like a rocket ship. I actually need to think about overcasting Eyes of God. But also maybe I just fight people and win now. We're going to be in a pretty good spot. The number of... Like, how much stuff we got... Let's come down here and look at it when we actually get to the army part. What are these guys doing? Okay, they're patrolling. So we got a lot. We got about 80 here of Long Dead. This is all from that, I think. And then we got about 33 Tomb Worms. So that's about where we're at. We're at about 80 Long Dead and 33 Tomb Worms a turn. These numbers are going to go up. They're going to go up a lot. This turn we're doing another massive sacrifice. We didn't find any scouts here the previous turn. We got an Ulm scout over here. Arco did not say anything. So Arco saw this whole operation, or at least he saw the second part. Didn't say anything to me. Didn't say anything in game chat. Everybody's still acting plenty friendly. Nobody's ending their non-aggression pacts with me. It might be they don't know. I mean, he, you know, sometimes people don't really look at the scout stuff at the bottom, and that's what I'm hoping happened. Because now we're doing it with the mage core. So we're trying to turn the, like, sacrifice the mages. What I've done is I've put the soulless Sauromancers, I've put them on the outside ring because I want them to be less likely to get a lot of Blood Vengeance procs. I've put all the mages on the outside ring as well. And that's because some of the mages aren't sacred. So they'll be less likely to proc Blood Vengeance on the soulless dudes. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe putting mages on the outside isn't the best idea. And then, yeah, the inner ring is filled up with still... There's a lot of Holy Twos we have left to convert. Probably at least another 30. So there's a lot of Holy Twos to convert. Not many Holy Ones are left, just a handful. And it's a lot of, you know, Sauromancers here that we've committed to this effort of, you know, retasking our intelligentsia. So that will go off this turn. Fortunately, our little homeboy here is, he's sticking at Insanity 10. And he is not insane this turn. So he's casting Sin Lesser Horror on the Weld of Solitude, and we've got everybody here patrolling. And most importantly, this is the thing you do not want to forget, is this guy is patrolling as well. And that's because we need him to cast Life After Death. If somehow he forgets or something, I end up killing all my mages, and they don't come back in the second form. It's a bad thing. So yeah, we're moving a bunch of sacreds here. And the plan is, the sacreds that have come from here, there's some coming from the capital. I don't think there's many here, no. Basically, we're going to take all the sacreds here. And if we're successful in both this attack and in this attack, then we'll be able to 2-province move the sacreds on top of this fort. We'll move in some of these guys. We may have Banefire by then. Probably not. Our research, you can see, is in the dumpster right now. And that's because we're converting our mage core to free up more gold income. Arguably not worth it. Because we're going to lose some of them. We'll see. We're going to do it, but we might not keep doing it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, anyway, importantly, we'll be able to move these guys from here to here. And then I'm twice borning one of my Death Fours. We'll probably twice born the other one next turn. Maybe not, I'm not sure. But we'll move these guys here and we'll start knocking down this... well, the turn that this army moves here should one turn pop this fort. And then with the support of a few Sauramancers, we should be able to take it. It's mostly just shackled mages in here. I can't really think of much they're going to do. The problem is we're right next to their cap. Their cap mostly has garbage in it, but maybe they come up with something pretty clever to do and write out. But I think we'll have all the tools we need to take it. And then we'll have their cap and then a bunch of their land. Erythia will be a friendly neighbor because they're very unlikely to want to mess with us. We've had a really good relationship, and much more likely they're going to want to go eat a small and vulnerable Phlegra. And this is just perfect for me. It's a great move for Erythia. It's a great move for me. The other thing that's really nice is it gets Raga off the board, and I want to get weak players off the board that could be eaten quickly by stronger players. And this isn't a player I can help do that, so I'm going to be doing it to Phlegra. We're getting a weak player off the... And by player, I mean more like the position, right? It's just not a winnable position. Could be eaten by man, could be eaten by Ulm. We're going to do our part and just get rid of them. And they're letting us, basically, I guess, now. So, anyway, that'll happen, and then Erythia is going to go on Raga. Erythia will be in a strong position. Players I'm friendly with in a strong position I like. It's going to make it very difficult for people to win quickly like that. And then on top of that, we're going to have access to Phlegra's capital, which is going to give... The sites are different because it... they get the volcano has erupted, and I think this gives -2 fire and +2 death or something like that. But we'll get a nice earth from this. Seems nice to me. I would like to see if I can steal a tyrant or two in the cap storming. So we'll see how that goes. It may be, if I can't get some earth gems, I'm not going to alchemize. I'll probably just wait another turn and maybe make... The problem is almost all the things I need to make require earth gems. The Soulstone of the Wolves does, though it's only like 5. And there's a small chance we get another random event that gives us earth gems. I don't think that's worth counting on. It was maybe a mistake. I made this armor the other turn. This was so that I could put it on an assassin. I really didn't want this. This lady was going to kill like a Saurmancer every turn. It was pretty important I get her killed. Fortunately, it just worked out on its own. And maybe I didn't need the earth, but she hits kind of hard. Like she's got a pretty good weapon. So it's like, maybe the fire armor is not good enough. Maybe I need to upgrade to the armor of the knights. I didn't want to spend the earth gems, but I did. For shame. Now I have to figure out what I'm going to do. Maybe I can ask around and figure out somebody else that wants to trade. Nobody wants to trade earth this game. Ulm does. Everybody wants earth. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we're set up to make some pretty big moves. We're going to get another huge conversion here. We're going to lower our upkeep even further. So, this should, if it goes well, when we log in, we should see an upkeep of around 700, maybe even less. It might be closer to like 650, which would be really nice. So we're going to have just a ton of money. That money is going to be going into forts and temples. On that front, this fort's going to be finishing this coming turn. This fort's going to be finishing. So this fort upgrade's going to be finishing. This fort's going to be finishing. This fort's getting pretty close. 2 months away. So, that's pretty good. Who's coming over here? This guy? Yeah, so we got a Holy One slowly making their way over here. The goal is going to be to put another fort over here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold this fort in the long run. We'll probably still temple it because I won't be able to do anything. Like, all our mages are sacred. But I probably will be abandoning this at some point. So in some ways, the temple's like we'll amortize it over X number of Sauramancers, and then there's a decent chance I lose it. But this province is also going to pay for itself. It's a ton of money coming in. So anyway, we'll just write it off like that. But what I want to do in this region is A, I want to get these lore masters out, but B, I want to build up a lot of. So while this fort I may end up losing if things kind of go south diplomatically, I'll just trade it away. This stuff I don't want to lose. I want to hold on to this. It's close enough to my cap. I can get stuff over here. This is like a small global worth of stuff over here, so I don't want to lose this. So, basically, I'm going to need to build up a lot of Sauromancers in this region. And, yeah, so having this fort pumping out Sauromancers will help with that. Because basically, I'll be able to gateway in a bunch of my, whatchamacallits, my tomb worms from down here. It's going to be worth thinking about how I do that. I guess I'll need... Like, this guy could kind of do it. He can hold 130 tomb worms. He gets 2 astral boosters and a hat, and he can do gateway. Yeah. So we can pretty easily gateway around our tomb worm armies. And we can move like 200 if we need to. You know, like I can put on a... we make like this item here. This little thing, the Rod of the Leper King. What are the other things that give you undead command? I know this does. This gives you a ton. So Crown of Bones. I don't think this does. Not much. There might be a couple more items, but yeah, probably just Crown of Bones. And then we can gateway an army over here. And that's something I'll do. You know, we have over in this region about 50 worms. Plus, you know, 20 other sacreds. That's not a lot. If we actually have to fight a player to defend this region, we're going to need at least 200 worms in total. Probably, you know, 250 would be a lot more comfortable. And those aren't numbers I've been able to sport terribly easily before, but we're at 30 worms a turn just from this. And then elsewhere I've got a few more. So we're getting close to like 50 worms a turn net across the Empire. But next turn, I think that'll go up another 20 if I'm lucky. Maybe not quite so high, but we'll see. Anyway, that's basically it. Big news is we're going on Phlegra early because we're friendly with them in a way, and they kind of are ready to go out of the game. Yeah, I think that's basically it. I think that's it. Tune in next time and see what all happens. But hopefully we're just going to see very strong score graphs go up and up and up. We'll look at them again real quick. Provinces, we've just been very cautious here. Somehow, strangely, we're close to number 1 in provinces. I'm not sure if we are anymore, but we had been. Forts... I bet you we're getting close to number 1. We're getting a lot of forts out, especially after this little push. Income, we're not number 1 in income, but we're doing pretty good. This Phlegra War might push us close to the top. And we've had a nice little surge from this Bogaroo stuff. This might be pushing us close to number 1 in income. Gym income. We're getting very close to being in position 1. Research-wise, though, we're not. I would say if I were another player and I had all the score graphs and this is the most critical thing, if I knew what happened here, so if Arco does, I would figure out at this point that this Ctis position, I think in my opinion, I'm actually getting close to being in position 1 in the game. And that's going to be very, very frightening considering how hard we're going to scale from this point. So the overall game plan, get income elsewhere, set up Sauromancers in the remote regions so we can defend it. Build core infrastructure in the heartlands. And that is so that we can have this engine grow and grow and grow and grow. This honestly is too many mages and stuff in one spot. I think what we'll need to do, and maybe we start doing it in a turn or two, maybe I make like this throne the new location that we're going to start doing it at and like just shift some of the patrolling armies around. You know, we're going to be getting 80 long dead a turn. It's not going to be terribly hard for us to move and like start heavily patrolling several provinces. So like this province, I actually only really need to patrol 5 provinces like these. So this province, I would need to patrol Well, actually, yeah, this one's also 5. Anyway, we can look to move and patrol, like check out different provinces. And it's going to be easy if they're expecting, like maybe Arco set up a little scry network here. I can just move over here and he might not notice. So, yeah. Things are looking very good. We're going to be getting close to 4K. I also know we're not going to be 4K income yet. But this is probably going to be 500 income that we get this turn, plus 500. And Kalem's right around like 400. So we're going to be getting close to Kalem. But I think everybody's appropriately worried about Kalem. The problem is, for Kalem, is they're just not going to scale that hard. But they're so far ahead of everybody else in tech. They need, in my opinion, Kalem, if we're having everybody worried about Kalem is really good. Because if Kalem knows, and then they get worried about getting coalitioned, apparently Kalem's getting a bunch of their summons and things like that. That can be good, but they need to do like a big timing push and start doing stuff. Because as I'm going to be creeping very close to number 1 position, I'm going to scale so much harder than them. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. The final spoils, I don't know if I mentioned that. This is all going to go to Erythia. They're going to get a lot of land out of this. I'm getting the things we're attacking this turn plus these 2 provinces. Assuming that this is Phlegra's. So, yeah. We're going to leave them alone. We're going to not Vulture Utgard. I don't want to do any slights to man. I don't want to piss them off. Not because I don't think I can fight them, but I don't know. I just want to be friendly with them. Yeah, just have a good game. I really want man to be kind of like a final boss in this for us. So I really hope we just get to have a really good war against them later in the game. And don't want to do anything to like trigger them or make them upset. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's about it. We're looking mighty, mighty fine. Did we do all the score graphs? Dominion could be better. Research. This turn's going to be another one of these things where it's like, boop. So we're going to have another boop, and then we'll start probably going up. One question is like, when do we start turning back on Sarumancer production? And we did it this turn. Like, we're doing it here and here. And we're going to be doing it over on this part, but at some point, it would make sense that all the places I have labs and temples, I do Sarumancers, and all the places that are temple only, I continue priest production. So we'll have to see. I don't know if that's going to work out, but I think that's it. We'll see you next time, folks. Until then, take care.